Hello, welcome to part 2 of my DIY silicone mermaid towel. I will try and remember to link all the things in the description, or maybe I can just put it in the comments and let you know what I'm using. But basically I'm using, and I don't advise this because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to use it, but I'm using HA6 marine tank silicone. Yeah, I mean it's doing the job and it seems fine. So, but yeah, I'm mixing that with mica powder. It's like a powder pigment. I think people usually use it for like bath bombs or epoxy resin, things like that. But yeah, I got that on eBay as well. I ordered pretty much everything off of eBay. The resin, not resin, sorry, the silicone, and also the pigment powders as well. I used two different colours of pigment, a bluey green colour and a purple. And then I also ordered one, well, I've just ordered a second tube because towel doesn't get finished in this video. But yeah, 2 tubes of black silicone as well, so I didn't have to colour that. It already just came already coloured black, so yeah, one less thing to worry about buying, and it's just a bit easier than having to mix it as well. But as you can see, I've mixed the pigment. You don't need a lot at all. It's really, really sort of pigmented, basically. So you don't really need a lot. I would do maybe like a quarter of a tube at a time of the silicone, and then mix it with probably somewhere between like, well, probably around about like a heaped teaspoon of the pigment, something like that. I think altogether so far I've ordered 35 grams, I think it's, yeah, 35 grams of the bluey green colour because I'm doing more of that. And then I've ordered 20 grams altogether of the purple because the towel is going to be mostly green with sort of like purple edges and fins and stuff. So but it's like a greeny blue. But yeah. But yeah, so mix it together, spread it on. I would advise doing it in thin layers for 2 reasons really. First reason being that it's just easier. The fabric kind of stretches and rolls about, and it's quite hard to get it to go sort of flat and like tidy looking. But then when you go to do the second coat, it just goes on a lot easier. I was trying to sort of just get it done in one coat, but after doing the first coat, I realised I was going to need a second one to tidy it up, and 2 to get any spots that I've missed. So I just did 2 full coats. But yeah, the second coat goes on a lot easier than the first. So if you do try this, yeah, don't worry, it gets easier. Yeah, the second coat is much easier to put on. Also, I did kind of just get like a tiny little bit on the, I used like butter knives and cake spatulas and things like that, like the cake decorating sort of ones. And I did sort of get just like a little bit of the blue after on the second coat, and tried to sort of put it on the purple, but just sort of like blend it a little bit so it wasn't such harsh lines. You can't really tell in the pictures or video, but yeah, it turned out looking quite nice. Obviously, once the towel's done, I will do a sort of detailed video so you can see the whole towel and all of that. I have just ordered the last few tubes of silicone. They should be here within a few days, so I'm finishing this video up on Saturday. Probably upload it on Saturday as well. I'm hoping that the silicone will be with me by Monday, so then, yeah, fingers crossed the towel should be finished by the end of the week. But yeah, anyway, make sure you do too. Also as well, it can be quite helpful to have like a cup of washing up liquid and like warm water. It stops the silicone from like sticking sort of to stuff. Yeah. I will link it down below anyway. I'll put it in the description in case you want to find it. There's a lot of different colours you can get as well, which is nice. But yeah, as you can see, just mixing up more. You're kind of better off doing it in small bits as well, not really mixing up like a huge batch at once, because it dries pretty quick. And once it starts drying, if you've got like a little bit that's dried before the rest and you're still trying to spread it, it will kind of like drag through, and yeah, kind of messes it up a little bit, and it's hard to get it flat looking. Yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to spread on, really. It's definitely easier to decorate a cake than it is to spread aquarium silicone onto fabric. Also, actually, the other reason for doing thin layers is to make sure it's fully sort of dried. I made the mistake after doing a bit of like the body part of the towel. I waited until it was kind of touch dry, and then I made the mistake of trying it on, and my legs burned. It was not good. I googled it and it turns out I can't think what it is. No, I'm not even going to try and say it. I don't know. When it dries and sort of goes hard, it releases like the horrible stink from it, the vinegary smell. When it dries, it basically releases an acid, and that's what the horrible smell is. Yeah, and it's not comfortable in your skin. So leave it overnight and then try it on. That's what I've done, and it's been fine since. So it obviously just needed to be left like overnight to dry really well. So yeah, make sure you leave it a good amount of time to dry before you try wearing it. Also as well, if you do like really thick pieces, it can sort of dry on the outside and not really dry on the inside, and then the acid gets trapped inside it, so, and it can't like cure properly, so it's best to try and do it as thinly as possible really, and it dries quicker, but still leave it overnight before you try wearing it. Then onto the black silicone, which I just put on using the silicone gun. It's a lot easier. Obviously, if you do try this, don't forget to obviously put something down on the floor. Something that you're not going to really care about if it gets dirty, and probably something that's quite thick as well. But yeah, obviously put something down to protect your floor, because if you get the silicone on your floor and you're not quick to get it up, you'll have pretty new patterns on your floor. So yeah, make sure you put something down. Also, you might have noticed in the beginning, I had tin foil sort of between like the opening of like the end of the tail. I just couldn't think what else to use, to be honest, so I just used some foil. But yeah, that wasn't necessary. I put it there because I thought maybe the silicone might be soaked through, and I didn't want it sort of like sticking the two sides of the tail together. But yeah, it wasn't necessary. It didn't soak through, so you don't really need to do that. It just make it easier trying to spread the silicone on with that stuff in there, because obviously it made it lumpy. Because the fabric's not that thick, which I feel like is probably a good thing. Obviously, the thicker fabric, the more it's going to weigh. And the towel already, I've not even finished the body yet, and it's still already pretty heavy. Sometimes I use my feet sort of heavy. But yeah, so the thinner fabric, like got a little bit of weight in there properly. I use yeah, don't really talk about that. But you know what I mean. You just put in smoother fabric, I think we're the whole towel. I ordered it in two pieces. I ordered one that was, I'm quite short as well, so maybe you might, if you're, I'm 5'1", I think, so if you're taller than me, you might want to order a little bit more. Perhaps like 2 meters by 2 meters. If you get that much, then you know that you're definitely going to have enough, and you have to hang about waiting for, like with a half done towel, waiting for more to be delivered. And also any leftovers you've got. I've got a fair bit of leftovers, so I'm going to use it to, well, I'm going to try and use it to make some like swim tops to go with the towel. So I'm hoping I got like enough leftover silicone and pigment as well to do that. But yeah, anyway, if you're gonna try it, get a good couple of meters, and then that way you know you've got extra. And where you can see me here tapping the black silicone after I put it on, what I've done is put like I've got a little cup of warm water and quite a bit of washing up liquid in it, and I'm kind of just dipping my finger in that and then tapping it so that I can like flatten down the lines of silicone, so it's not sort of round. I want it more flat. Yeah, and just sort of able to sort of like put it into place a little bit more, make it more how I want it. Obviously if you touch the silicone without doing that, it's going to stick to your fingers and make a big mess. So get either washing up liquid just on your finger, or obviously dip your hand in some like washing up liquid and silicone. But also if it drips anywhere on the towel while you're doing it, if you then try and put silicone there, it won't stick, so you might need to dry your towel off at points. But yeah, washing up liquid and water to stop it sticking to you. So here I went on to doing the scales and I completely forgot to record it. So I just quickly recorded myself doing like the last scale basically. I just got 2 plastic spoons, cup of water and washing up liquid, and I literally just scooped a little bit, got it onto the back of the spoon and just kind of smushed it on. Obviously don't forget to dip your spoon in the washing up liquid and water because that stops it from sticking. Otherwise it'd just stick to the spoon and make a big mess. But here's how far I've got so far. And of course, had to go and try it out in the middle of January. Freezing cold on a beach that ended up busier than I would have liked it to have been in a half-made towel. But yeah, see the things I do for you guys.